Hello, beginner students. Welcome to a quick tutorial on how to count number 112 all through the night in your beginner book. Let's see. So this is the French horn book. Horns, when you play this, go ahead and feel free to play the low octave when you start to play this, unless you really want the challenge of starting up on a high E flat and playing high F, which is great. I welcome you to do that, but you're welcome to take on the low octave if you would prefer that. All right, everybody, let's get to work here. You should always acknowledge the key signature, even though right now we're not really thinking about note letters. Always look at that key signature. And then we want to be aware that right here we've got a D, C al fine. We know that from Banana Boat Song. When we finish, I should have numbered my measures. When we finish measure 8, we're going to go back to the beginning, and then we'll end right here at the double bar line where it says fine. Sorry if the camera's shaking a little bit. I don't have a fancy tripod. I'm just holding it. Alrighty. So, another important thing we need to talk about. I'm not sure if we all got through this in our beginner classes, but that is a dotted quarter, y'all. It starts with a dotted quarter, and it's got them sprinkled throughout. We got some dotted quarters in 4 of the measures. There's one right here too. Okay, and we need to understand we're in 4/4 time. Quarter note's going to get the beat, 4 beats in a measure. We need to understand how to count a dotted quarter in this time signature. And this is a more advanced rhythm, but it's where we're headed. Y'all are advanced students here in your second semester of beginner class. So the dot. Raise your hand if you know what it does. Yeah, right, like I can see you. Okay, well, what it does is it adds half of the note's original value. Okay, so if I have a dotted, we know the dotted half note, a half note's usually 2 beats, right? And if we take half of the 2, which would be 1, and we add that to the note's original value, we get 3, like my visual, all right? So it would get 3 beats. All right, but here we've got a different animal here. I mean, same rule of a dot does the same thing, but on a different kind of note. So in the quarter note, it usually would get 1 beat in 4/4 time, right? So we take that 1 beat, but then we have to add half. Well, half of 1 is 1/2. I can't really show you. I can show you a nub of a finger. So we'd have 1.5. Oh, that almost looks inappropriate. But 1.5 beats, okay, is what we would have. Okay, 1.5 beats, and the best way to think of that is 3 pulses when you count. So if I turn on my metronome, this would start on beat 1. I would give it 3 pulses. It would go 1, right? 1. And those 3 pulses, if I were to count them out, that would represent 1 and 2, right? And after 1 and 2, we would have and. And that's what this 8th note is right here. This 8th note is on the and of 2. So we get 3 pulses and then an and on the and of 2. And then beat 3 is after the and of 2. So this would count. I'm going to count the whole song. Well, I'll count the whole measure for you once. Just measure 1. Here I go. 1, 2. Here I go. 1 and 3, 4. You see how that works? And this measure is the same. Measure 2 is 1 and 3, 4. Now this one is different. We know we got a half note on beat 1. That's going to get 2 beats. It gets beat 1 and it gets beat 2. So this starts on beat 3. So we're going to say 3 after 4 pulses on the half note. But this note, still a dotted quarter note, will get 3 pulses, and then we have the and of 4 right here. So that I said that all real fast. Hopefully it didn't confuse you. We got a half note, gets 2 beats. We go to beat 3. We hang out for 3 pulses. That's 3, right? And then we have an and after beat 4, and then we go to 1. So if I count, you're going to count these 2 measures together. You would do it like this. Here I go. 1, 3, and 1. See how that works? Let me do that again. You count it. Try to count it with me. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 3, and 1. It's really important that you do your pulses. This needs to be right on the end, okay? The rest of this is pretty easy. We got a bunch of quarter notes until the end. Well, that's not really the end, but till measure 8, okay? But we all know quarter notes, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's simple. And this is just like the beginning. 1 and 3, except it ends with a half note. The beginning ended with 2 quarter notes, but not too much different, right? Now, time to count the whole thing. On your assignment, please count and clap. Here I go. And use a metronome. Use it at 88 beats per minute. I'm at 88 right now. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1, 3 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1, 3.